Today we're going to build a mid-century modern inspired piece of furniture that includes built-in lighting, a beautiful wooden slab and storage. So this piece is built for a study, where the person wanted to section off the room a little bit and have some privacy. They also needed some lights and drawers to store things in. So with all that in mind, this is what's being created today. First up, cutting plywood to size. And we're using some really nice walnut plywood because we happen to have some on hand, but obviously any plywood would do. For assembly, pocket screws. And having these types of corner clamps is something I find really useful just to make sure everything is actually square and nice when you're putting something together by yourself, because it's like having a second pair of hands, really. Awesome! Next up, the drawers. So some routing here, so the drawers will fit together nicely. And to assemble these drawers, just using glue and brad nails. And after that, reinforcing them with some screws. And when the fit isn't quite perfect like here, it's nice to just use a block plane to bring it down a little bit. Okay, then feet. So to bring this unit off the ground a little bit, we're using some walnut blocks and just screwing those in. Now for the inside of the drawers, I thought it would be really fun with a pop of color, which goes really well against the walnut. So using this bright red. And I was thinking it'll be kind of like a surprise when you open the drawers. Once the paint dried, I used a sheet of regular paper to kind of sand it smooth. And this little trick works really well to smoothen out any unevenness. For runners, we're using some drawer slides, and these are the soft close ones, which are really nice. Okay, then the top. So we're using this beautiful walnut slab, and it's a little bit uneven, so doing some planing here to smoothen it out a bit. Then it needs to be squared up. And this piece needed quite a bit of sanding to get completely even and smooth, but isn't it a beautiful piece? To smoothen the edges a little bit, some planing. And finally a seal coat of shellac on both sides, and that really makes the grain pop. And finally a coat of some spray lacquer after a fine sanding. To finish the drawers and the unit itself, some water-based poly, which is nice because it doesn't add a yellow tone, plus it dries really quickly. And here's a little jig to put on the knobs, and we're using some oil rubbed bronze ones. Okay, next up the lighting section. So this is going to be attached to the back of this piece of furniture, and we're adding round corners. I thought it would look interesting to include some leather here, almost to make a shade. And I'm using a dark brown oil tanned leather. because we're going for a rather masculine, dark look overall here. Well, except for the drawers. So cutting a leather strip to size using one of these handy strap cutters to ensure it's even. And then I'm putting on water-based contact cement on both the leather and the plywood edge. I didn't want to rely just on the glue to hold it in place, so I'm using some of these old-fashioned looking iron tacks, which I think are pretty cool. For lighting, we're using a natural light LED strip. These are pretty bright, and I do want a lot of light under here, so I'm using quite a few strips. And then of course connecting them all together. So to make this work, I'm using a 12-volt power supply connected to the controller that comes with the lights. Then that connects to a female barrel plug and some extra wire connected to the actual lights. And to keep the wires clean and neat, it's always nice to spin them to combine them, and that way it's contained. Okay, so time to assemble. First screwing on the lighting piece, then drilling a hole to move the wire towards the back. And that's pretty much it. And then in with the drawers, and here we go. I suppose this is a rather unique looking piece of furniture, and I really like how it combines so many things. You can block off a section with the back, like if you have roommate or you want to separate a space. It has built-in lighting, a nice tabletop, and of course the storage. The back piece is also a great place to have some fun. You can use it to tape up Polaroids or hang a photo or whatever. So I know this is going to get a ton of use, and sometimes it's really interesting to think a little bit outside of the box and create something which you definitely wouldn't be able to buy in the store, something very custom. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please share this video, it makes a huge difference. Thanks for watching.